be acquitted.
You didn't let Plattner cop a plea, did you?
We told him we'd sleep on it.
All this posturing about euthanasia, now he just wants to give up? What's he really afraid of?
I'm not sure, but Plattner looked pretty surprised when Andrea testified she never told her husband what she was going to do.
This was the most important decision of their lives. How could she not include him?
She said she didn't want Daniel to be the one who did it. Maybe she was protecting him.
Not from us. Even if he was involved, the only proof of that would be Andrea's testimony, and spousal privilege puts that off limits.
Well, maybe Andrea was protecting him from the truth.
About what?
A Jewish couple I know got tested for Tay-Sachs before they walked down the aisle. Why would an educated couple like the Browns roll the dice and take those chances?
Because they thought there was no chance they could have a Tay-Sachs baby.
Daniel wasn't born Jewish. He got better odds of hitting the lottery than carrying the Tay-Sachs gene.
What kind of offer requires the presence of the defendant's husband, but not her?
No offer. We have a court order for a DNA test for Mr. Brown. What the hell for? We checked your birth certificate. You were born Catholic.
Yes, but I converted to Judaism before Andrea and I got married, so what?
So there's very little chance that you carry the Tay-Sachs gene.
You can't do this. I know my rights, spousal privilege. Husbands and wives can't incriminate each other.
Well, that's not entirely true. Communication between spouses is protected, but the privilege doesn't cover DNA. We can take you to the ME's office right now for the DNA test.
Don't waste your time. I'm, not Sarah's biological father.
Andrea told you, didn't she? About the affair.
After she was arrested. But I suspected something when Sarah was diagnosed. It was with some guy in her office.
How do you know she wasn't just trying to cover up the affair when she killed Sarah?
Because she loved that child more than anything in the world.
Please state your name for the record.
Stephen Kellerman.
Mr. Kellerman, how do you know the defendant?
I worked with her.
What was the extent of your relationship?
I'm not sure what that means.
Did you have sex with Andrea Brown?
It only happened once after we'd worked late. Her husband was away.
After that, you transferred to a different office, didn't you?
To Boston, yes.
When did you become aware that Andrea Brown was pregnant with your child?
When I read about the case in the newspaper.
So you're saying you never even knew about your own daughter?
Yes.
Nothing. Who ended the affair?
Andrea did. Immediately after it began. I loved her, but she loved her husband. She had a moment of weakness.
Objection. Mr. Kellerman is not here as a character witness.
Sustained, jury will disregard. When you read about Andrea in the newspaper, why didn't you come forward?
Because I had a brother that died of Tay-Sachs, and I've seen what that does. And if I had been in Andrea's position, I would have done the same thing. Very sorry.
Andrea Brown's actions had one purpose. One. To spare the child she loved years of horrible agony leading to an inevitable death. When you go into the jury room, ladies and gentlemen, you must decide if this woman deserves to go to prison for at least 25 years. But before you answer that question, ask one of yourselves, if this were my child, what would I do? And if that question gives you pause, I pray you decide that Andrea Brown has already suffered enough.
Andrea Brown ground up a lethal dose of antidepressants and fed it to her baby. The defense doesn't dispute these facts. They argue Mrs. Brown acted out of the noblest of motives. Let's examine these motives. Andrea Brown had an extramarital affair and got pregnant. When she found out the baby wasn't her husband's, did she tell him? No. Did she tell Steve Kellerman that he was the father? No. Did she tell Dr. Plattner when pressuring him for a prescription, an act she knew could land him in prison? No. From the start, Andrea Brown's primary concern was preserving her marriage, her image, and her lifestyle by hiding at all costs her affair. She knew that the longer Sarah was alive, the greater the chances someone would find out that Daniel Brown was not the father. So she killed her daughter. A helpless child who had not yet begun to suffer the effects of Tay-Sachs. All of this to conceal the fact that she'd slept with another man. The defense would have you believe this was an act of mercy. It wasn't. This is a clear-cut case of murder.
On the sole count of murder in the second degree, how does a jury find?
We find the defendant guilty.
Good work, counselor.
She didn't deserve 25 to life
Jury thought so.
because I turned her into a whore.
Doesn't matter, she killed her child.
What if it was your daughter? What would you have done?
Whatever I could.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
I just don't understand why you never bring your cell phone.
Cell phone won't change the fact that you ran out of gas.
No, I didn't. The gauge is broken. Where are you going?
Maybe they have a cell phone.
Wait, you don't know who they are.
Nobody. Now what?
Start walking. What was that?
Somebody's in there. Get it open.
Flag on the car! Hurry!
Multiple stab wounds. Looks like the guy clocked her a couple of times with a tire iron before raping her with it. She's conscious, though.
Did she tell you anything?
Can't. Super glued her lips shut. She stopped breathing, so we had to crank her.
Anything to dissolve that with?
ER's got us out if she gets there. No promises.
I'll go. Call if she says anything.
Got an ID?
No personal keys. Car's registered to Meredith McGrath. Seems like there's some recent damage to the bumper.
So he bumps into her, she pulls over, he attacks her.
Found these in the trash. $80 cash in the wallet, no driver's license, all the credit cards say Meredith McGrath.
You find keys in there?
No.
So he took the keys, leaves the money, he takes her license with her home address on it. What's the address on that registration?
Somewhere in commotion. By the time we get here, he's already dead.
Homicide here.
Bishop.
Stabler, Special Victims Unit.
Sam Bishop, Sergeant McGrath. Looks like he surprised a burglar, but I'm pretty sure the guy wasn't raped.
His wife was.
Tonight?
A couple hours ago, we think the perp stole her house keys, came here looking for something.
A hard drive of the computer. Ripped it right out.
Is that the only thing he touched?
Looks like, but he missed this. Found this in the desk with a couple burned CDs. I don't know, might tell me something.
So how do you want to work this?
I'll give you a call if I need your help.
Snip. When? Okay, thanks.
What?
My victim, she's dead. Does that help? Olivia back from the hospital?
Still there. Caught a child abuse case in the ER. What's the story on the husband's murder?
And witnesses only heard a fight. We found prints at the apartment. They matched prints on the wife's car. I ran it through the system, zip.
All this to steal the hard drive off the home computer.
Explains why the husband was killed, but why attacked the wife and superglue her mouth shut.
Sending a message. Talked when she shouldn't have. Anything pop up on the laptop?
Homicide detective sent it over to Teru. Said give a buzz if anything looked useful. Yeah, meaning after his case clears, we'll never hear from him again.
So let's concentrate on our own victim. She was driving home from work when this happened. Let's start there.
Everybody here loved Meredith.
Anybody love her in private?
Not like an affair? No. At least not with anybody here.
How do you know?
Well, 80% of the department is female, and I don't think her door swung both ways. The guys, not to be a jerk, but I doubt she'd risk her marriage on any of them.
Did she get a promotion lately, a new office, anything to make one of her coworkers jealous?
Not at all. In fact, I almost had to fire her a few months ago.
Why?
Plus some performance issues, distracted, took a lot of sick days, vacation. She was back to normal. What was going on with her?
I'm not really sure. She changed her email address 7 or 8 times last year. I think she had some kind of stalker.
Do you mind if we take a look at her computer?
Oh, she didn't have one here. She always brought her laptop.
Need a terror report on that laptop.
I don't have it yet. Why?
Well, it belonged to my victim. You get anything off those CD-ROMs?
I got something.
Kitty porn.
Yep, hundreds of pictures. Probably what the perp was looking for in the hard drive.
And when were you going to get around to sharing that piece of information with me?
I gotta report to you that my victim's a pervert.
No, you got to tell me when you find something pertaining to my victim. That CD belongs to her.
How do you know? There's no useful prints on it.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Meredith McGrath changed her email address 7 times last year. I am betting she did it because she didn't want to get caught with that. She was raped, tortured, and murdered. This guy was after her, not her husband.
Well, you guys want the perv crap, you can have it.
Real pleasant work, detectives. Thanks for sharing.
Fun kitty porn?
More than 50 images. From what I can tell, there are 2 different girls. One looks 8 or 9. One 14 or 15. Really twisted stuff. This computer is jacked, some kind of virus. I haven't been able to view everything.
Any way to ID these girls?
We send all child pornography to the FBI.
They use facial recognition software. Compare the porn to the database at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Any idea where Meredith got these pictures?
Sent to her from Nick2Shy at wiremail.news. She saves his emails along with the photos.
Where did you find this Nick?
Use a wiremail account, anonymous server.
Yeah, truth is, nothing is really anonymous. Every email you send, every website you visit, you transmit an internet protocol address. Most emails have the IP number and the header information.
Who was it?
All I can tell you is the server used. The IP is assigned to the computer lab at Stuyvesant College. If you get a subpoena, they can tell you who the user is. One more thing, Mrs. McGrath also liked to say for internet chats.
Oh yeah, what'd you chat about?
trolling for more porn. I tried reading a couple, but then I stopped when I felt like puking.
Wow. Is she a partner? Yeah. Does she date?
A lot of guys, so there's just no way to retrieve it, right? Okay. Thank you.
College computer lab?
There's no record of anyone accessing the IP address. Someone from a remote site bypassed the login code.
They were hacked? It's an old system. There's no way to trace this guy.
This Nick Tushai is going through an awful lot of trouble to keep his identity a secret.
Well, come on, if he killed her, I mean, I think he did us a favor. Wait, listen to this one. Here's a guy offering Meredith 300 photos of boys under 7. In return, he wants to take her son to a motel for an hour. Isn't that sweet?
She doesn't have any kids.
She told this guy she did.
That is something I am not understanding. She seems to be doing an awful lot of lying. She goes to an adult chat room, pretends she's a 13-year-old girl. She changes her screen name to Love to Cheer 13. Almost immediately, 6 guys are hitting on her.
She's getting off of the fantasy.
I don't know, but then she starts setting up meetings in hotels with these guys. Now, what the hell is the point of that? It's not like she can all of a sudden turn into this 13-year-old girl when she gets there.
Okay, well, why is she flirting with him online?
Think about it. She saves every one of the communications she has with these guys. She doesn't offer them anything illegal until they ask for it. Now, what does that sound like to you?
Let's go.
That's how the feds sting pedophiles online. She's an informant.
Yeah, that makes sense. How? That virus I thought I found? Actually a Trojan horse. What's that? It's a program hiding within a seemingly innocuous file. In this case, it was designed to record every single keystroke Meredith McGrath made. Each time she signed online, it would transmit the information in an email to Nick Tushai. Attach the Trojan to a picture he sent her. After that, he could read every word she typed.
So he found out she was an informant and killed her. Stole the evidence he's been collecting against her. So she's on FBI payroll.
Possibly. She sent huge bundles of information to a .gov address. Federal domain. Someone named Claudia Williams.
It's not FBI. She's an assistant U.S. attorney. When were you going to let us know that she was working for you?
When I had something to give you.
When were you going to tell me that you were using a civilian to do your job?
Meredith McGrath was going after pedophiles on the internet long before our involvement. She considered herself a cyber vigilante.
All on her own, huh? Why?
Maybe because she was raped as a young girl and decided to get back at people who exploit children. She came to us, Detective. What were we supposed to do? Ignore her?
So she did your dirty work when she got killed for it? Oh, well, it was her decision. That it?
Meredith helped us put away 5 pedophiles in the last year. Believe me when I tell you, I want to find out who killed her just as badly as you do.
Okay, I want to see the files on every perp she went after, and I don't want to hear about it compromising your cases.
Recognize her? 14-year-old Mia Van Wagner from Queens.
She's one of the girls in the pictures on Meredith's laptop. How'd you ID her?
FBI computer got the match. She's been missing for 2 weeks. Mia's photographs didn't start showing up on the internet until after her disappearance.
You're thinking she was kidnapped and Meredith found out about it?
It's possible. Sounds like a motive for murder to me.
What did the 117 have to say about this missing girl?
They wrote it up as a runaway. She packed her bags, stole a couple $100 from her mother. There's no mention of the porno pics.
Hey, Captain.
Bishop, you're getting to be a regular fixture around here. Thinking about a department transfer?
No thanks. I like my victims dead. Found the address of mother's work. Restaurant Queens.
Thanks.
I told the police that I don't think she ran away. I know it looks like that, but I think she must have been forced or something.
Mrs. Van Wagner, does Mia spend a lot of time online?
No, my daughter can't have the internet. I don't allow it. Why?
Pictures of her showed up in some emails. We're just not quite sure who sent them.
What kind of pictures?
Mrs. Van Wagner,
You have to show me. Let me see them.
you don't need to see the pictures. If it were my daughter, I wouldn't want those images in my head.
Oh my God. Well, what's happening to her?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Is it possible she uses a friend's email account?
spends a lot of time at Samantha Gilligan's house, but you know, the police already talked to her.
Mia just took off. She didn't tell me where she was going, and she hasn't called me, okay?
Okay. You don't seem too worried about your friend.
Mia can take care of herself. She's way more mature than people think.
Did she ever come over here and use your computer?
Probably, I don't know.
You don't know? Come on. You guys went online together, right? Hit the chat rooms, maybe try to pick up guys.
Okay, whatever.
Did any guy ever try to pick up Mia?
Am I psychic?
What are your friends doing now? Here, take a look at that. Look like she's having a lot of fun.
Put it away.
Oh my god, that's Mia?
Put it
So
away.
he's doing that to your friend. So if you know where she is, you gotta tell us right now.
She had this boyfriend. Online.
Where are they?
I don't know, I swear. She called me a couple days after she left, but she didn't tell me where she was. There's no way he would do that stuff to her. He loves her.
How do you know that?
She showed me his emails. They were really romantic.
Did you save the emails he sent? Go to the computer and get them for me. What the hell did you show her that?
Lying her ass off.
So your solution is terrorizing her into giving you information?
Hey, we got what we came for. I'm trying to hold her hand.
Listen to me. I don't want you jumping in my game like that again. Are we clear? Look, it's only going to get uglier from here on out, so if you can't handle it, you just gotta let me know right now.
Look, let's break up the work. I'll run down the phone dump on this girl. You run down the emails.
I don't recognize the server name. See if the IP tells us anything. Whoa. I think this is going to be a little out of NYPD's jurisdiction.
Another state?
Another country. Server's in Prague. This is the Czech Republic.
U.S. Embassy in Prague has confirmed the sender is Eric Tasek, a German national living in the Czech Republic for the last 2 years.
They pick him up?
The Czechs want to arrest him based on emails.
Which shows he was pursuing a sexual relationship with a minor. He invited her to live with him. What else do they need?
Proof that he's got the girl. Eric Tasek has not left the Czech Republic in 8 months.
Oh, he must have convinced her to go on her own.
U.S. Immigration says Mia Van Wagner has never been issued a passport.
I don't know how this dirtbag did it, but he smuggled her out of this country, and he's now circulating.
The Czechs will play ball with this. Make sure of it.
Mia Van Wagner had an email relationship with Tasek for over 1 year. Found on Meredith McGrath's laptop. All of those photos were sent to her by Nick Tushai. I'm thinking that this is the guy who murdered Meredith and her husband.
Could Tasek and Nick Tushai be the same person?
Well, I was thinking that, but the emails coming from Tasek were clearly written by somebody who doesn't speak English as a first language. Nick Tushai does.
So, Nick helps Tasek get Mia out of the country. Meredith finds out about it.
Nick kills her.
The question is, how do these guys know each other?
Okay. More importantly, this girl is being raped and tortured. Where the hell is she?
Phone dump on Samantha Gilligan. Mia Van Wagner called from her prepaid cell phone. Blood's on that show. She used it the first day she was missing. Nothing since.
Who else she called?
3 calls, the same number. Photocopy shop Midtown.
We get passport photos from those places.
Hi, can I help you?
Looking for a girl who came in for a passport picture.
Oh, sure. That's Carrie. What, is she in trouble? I met her a couple weeks ago. Ron brought her in. She's his daughter.
Ron who?
Ron Crowley, he's my boss. He's right in the back if you want to talk to him.
Ronnie. I'm sorry. This area is restricted to employees only.
No, it's not.
We heard you brought your daughter to work a couple weeks ago. So?
Is that her?
No. Strong resemblance, but no, that's not Carrie.
Take a better look. Clerk out front said that is definitely your daughter.
Well, I guess I'd know my own kid better than she would.
How many daughters you got, Ron?
One. Is that all?
Any pictures of her? I got tons of pictures of my kids with me. Come on, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
What are you doing? Who is you, Ron? You can't do that.
Oh, is this your daughter?
She was nothing like the girl you brought in, Ron.
Let's go.
I never saw that girl in my life.
Your employer was lying.
She made a mistake. How come Mia Van Wagner called your store 3 times? How do I know? Maybe she needed copies. Wrong answer. What the hell is your problem?
Detective Bishop here is very impatient. You're gonna do yourself a big favor if you just answer our questions honestly. I am. Good. Tell me about Meredith McCrath.
Never heard of her.
The one you raped and murdered.
Oh, wait a minute.
You got the wrong guy.
Found out about